Hello, hello. Welcome to our Z100 Artist Interview Lounge presented by Celsius Energy Drinks. I'm Crystal Rosas. Today, she is a rising force in pop, unafraid to pour her heart out into every track. Colorado born, LA based, she's emerged as one of pop's hottest newcomers, blending blunt, clever lyrics with hypnotic R&B pop melodies. Her EP, Don't Hold Me Accountable, explores the turbulence of Gen Z romance, mental health, self-love through the tracks. And we are so excited to see that she's been performing at We Hope Pride, Summerfest 2025, earned early acclaim from Billboard, Music Connection, and V Magazine. Declared as one on the cusp for pop stardom, let's have a conversation with CIL.
Hello.
Hi, Girly Pop.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. The gems are gemmy.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wait, what are like tooth gems? Because I don't know if I need to.
Well, basically, I started getting mine like 3 years ago, something like that. And literally all it is like braces, glue, and gems. Like, I don't know, girl. I don't know what to say. It's like one of my favorite things that I've done with my smile because I used to be so insecure of my gap in my teeth. I got this tiny little gap in between my two front teeth. And so when I got tooth gems, I was like, okay, I'm going to be fine.
Oh, do they stay on? Has one popped off or you're solid?
I'm not going to lie to you. I may or may not have eaten one on accident the other day while I was eating my wings in Atlanta. I was like, shit.
Not in Magic City. We talked about that already, but.
Not in Magic City, but I wish.
Wait, so how is your relationship with your gap now?
I think it's always, I like it. I think that I've learned to love it because it's part of who I am, and I'm way too lazy to change it or make any changes whatsoever. But I love it. I just remember being like in 4th grade and asking my teacher like, oh, like when is this going to go away? And she was like, well, when you're a woman, it'll go away. I'm not even joking. I waited. I was like, okay, when I'm a woman, it's going to go away. And I wait. It's still fucking here. So I don't really understand that. But yeah, so it never went away. So, but it's fine. I'm learning to love it.
I love it. I mean,
Thank
Becky
you.
G got hers closed up, but I don't think
She did? Oh my God.
I don't think you need to do
Okay.
that. I'm not like she could do that if she wants to do it, but girl, I think
I
we
loved
love
it.
the gaps.
I loved hers. I was like, ugh, she's so pretty.
That's what they're gonna say if you decide to close yours up.
Okay, well then I guess I have to stand strong with my gap.
Keep the gap.
I'll stand
queen.
strong. I will. Don't worry.
I want to roll back because it's true that you grew up with 7 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
What number are you?
I'm number 4, I'm the middle kid. Out of so there's 2 girls and then 6 boys, which was so much fun growing up. It was awesome. Yeah, so I was the middle kid. It's like me, because technically with 8 kids, there's no middle kid. There's 2. So it was me and my brother Patrick, and so.
Do you guys vibe similarly? Like,
Oh my God, he's like my favorite person in the entire world. I think
he's the
so
number
funny.
1 sibling.
Yeah, I can't say any. I don't have a favorite sibling. What are you talking about? I love them all. No, he was just like the closest. I think we were the closest growing up because he had my back, and I think that as a middle kid, you like learn to take care of everybody else, and you're fine. You're either like the comedic relief of what's going on, or you're like the emotional like punching bag a little bit. So him and we were able to be that for each other at the same time. And like, so it was nice. He's just the closest to me because I think we had each other, you know?
And when you were growing up, were you, who was in charge of the music in that household? Like, what were you listening to? Let's talk about that.
That's me. I mean, like, I guess like my older brothers had a little bit of like, you know, but I remember when I was like 12, I think I started getting really into music. And the reason why was because I really liked vinyls and records. And so I started collecting them when I was 12. And then I got...
Like, what were your first ones?
My first one ever was a Beatles White Album. And then I got a Beach Boys Greatest Hits. And it was like 4 vinyls in like the one, you know? So I had like every single Beach Boys song imaginable, and I love the Beach Boys. It's like they're one of my favorite. Brian Wilson is just my music god. So.
Have you seen them?
I have not. No, never saw them. But yeah, so I started collecting vinyls. Those were like my first like couple vinyls, and I got really into oldies. I got really into soul music, the Platters. I had a Platters album, and so yeah, I got really into it, and then that's kind of what started me and ushered me into, okay, now I kind of want to sing like that. I want to make music like that. I want to make music in general. I want to write. And so I started writing in singing, I think in like 8th grade. That was really when I started doing it. But
Were you doing talent shows or what was that like?
I remember my mom really wanted me to join choir, and I was like, no, like absolutely not. I can't do that. And I don't know why. Like, I was so scared to join choir. I actually know why. Because when I was in, listen, when I was in fourth grade, I had this teacher, okay? And we were all like singing in the like choir because we had to do it because we went to a Catholic school.
Me too.
So, nice. So you understand. I'm like sitting there and I'm singing. I'm just doing my thing. And she comes up behind me and like shuts my mouth. And all of a sudden everybody stops singing. And she goes, we have a leader, like a voice leader. And I was like, is that me? And then she was like, you need to be a little quieter. And I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, what the fuck? So that was my first experience in a choir.
That
so
is traumatic though.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to do this.
She was a hater.
She actually was. She was my biggest op. Like, since the beginning of time. She was my op.
We're praying for you, teacher.
We're praying for you, Miss Kelly. Oh, sorry. But yeah, that was great. That was so much.
You're so silly.
But yeah, that was a
You made me snort.
Oh my god.
It's okay, Mar. You can keep that in.
Listen, I don't know what to say. I gotta call her out. But yeah, that was my first experience, like in a choir and whatever. So I never really wanted to do.
That was your first experience knowing you had a talent.
Low-key, you know what? That was my first experience.
So thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. Yeah, that was definitely an
Oh, that turned you off from public singing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Of course.
And then when I was in 8th grade, I really started to get into writing.
Okay.
And really wanting to explore what that meant and explore what music was for me.
So
and
what,
it
you
meant
like
for me.
poems and you like record it on your phone? Like what is that like?
I would just I taught myself how to play piano. And then I would just sit there and I would just let whatever came out, come out. And I ended up writing like a couple of songs when I was young. And then I like got into high school. Yeah. And around like 16, I ended up dropping out of high school and moving to LA. And I've been in LA ever since. My uncle, I was living with a family member. And so we...
Wait, so like your parents called up your Theo and was like, hey, like, little ting over here.
He actually called them. And it was more so like, yo, like, I think she's great and whatever. And I was like, I wasn't doing well at home. And like I was just like going through some stuff. And then, it kind of ended up being like the perfect situation of me. Like I was working, so I was able to like get over there. I ended up living with him.
Wait,
and then
you were working?
I started working at Victor Benet's, which is like a little bakery in Calabasas.
What were you doing?
I was just taking orders. That was all I was doing. In Colorado, I worked at, a taco place and I was like a cook and like doing dishes. They made me stay so late, like every night. I was there till like 1 a.m. and I was like, why? So that sucked. But yeah, those were like my 2 jobs.
Did you meet famous people when you worked at Calabasas?
No.
Oh,
I didn't actually. I was very much in my own like world at that time too. But yeah, no, I didn't meet any famous people.
So then what are you doing when you're working and then you get off and you're just like writing and networking and meeting people? Because how is that like in LA for you?
LA, my biggest priority was just to figure out how to pay rent and like survive for a long time. But I was living in Huntington Beach. After Calabasas, I moved to Huntington Beach, and then I was living with my cousin. And so I was driving like 80 miles a day up to LA, doing sessions, back down to Huntington Beach to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was working in between that, and it was it was just a lot. Like, it was a lot. I had to get up every day and be like, okay, like, this is, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. Because I think there were times where I really wanted to. And it's funny because when I released my first song, it was, I was like posting like videos of just me singing and whatever. And I just decided one day, I was like, I think I'm just going to post an original song. Like, who cares?
Because you were doing covers for a while.
Yeah. And so I posted it. I turned off my phone for the day. I went to go make music, and it just, like, it did well. And that was the first one that I decided to show people. And it felt like really affirming, where I was like, okay, like, you can't give up, you know?
How cool that your first like original song that you popped
Yeah.
was like the biggest video at the time that you got so much love for.
It's crazy. I'm so thankful for it. That song, One More Shot, I have so much like love for it. It's so much gratitude towards it, because it was one of those records that I felt, I mean, when you start, I think people don't realize how valuable it is to be young and naive a little bit, because you're able to make decisions without overthinking it 1,000%, you know? And so I was just able to, I liked it. It felt like me. I put it out. And that was it. And that, you know, taught me to really trust my intuition.
So then at that point, when that song is popping off online, were you getting reached out by random people, or like what was going on?
I mean, yeah, I ended up signing to a record label in Warner, and that was like the first kind of thing that happened. And I ended up on a tour shortly after I put it out with a friend of mine, and we ended up just being on tour, and I was singing the song and I was posting it, and it was so much fun. And I just felt like I was really starting to experience my own life, and I was taking charge of my own life for the first time in a really long time, you know? Because leading up to that point, honestly, leading up to that, putting out One More Shot, it felt like I was constantly like climbing, you know? And then it felt like, yes, I'm climbing, but I've got like an energy boost. You know what I mean? It really like, it reintroduced why I was so passionate at the time. And I think that we all need, at some point in our careers, in our lives, in our friendships, in our romances, and everything, like, it'll come to a point where you get that like remembrance of why you're in it and why you love it so much. You
that
know?
Like motivation boost. Like, okay, the work is doing things and moving and moving. Yeah. And this year we got your EP.
Yeah.
Don't Hold Me Accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I swear it's satire. It's a joke. Please hold me accountable. But it was that came from, I think I was having, you know, these experiences of like figuring out what it meant to hold myself accountable, and what it meant to be, you know, have self-respect, and to have, you know, real love for myself. And that was really like this whole journey of this EP.
Because it is like a heartbreak project. And let's go through it. You're a liar, you love me. Oh my God, I hate that's like such a terrible situation that we get in. Oh my God.
It was, I mean, like the thing about the song was like, I remember writing it from this super like toxic place.
Yeah.
Like, I know you love me, like, hello. And then I realized, I was like, I don't think he does, girl. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Reality check.
Oh my God. I was like, that man doesn't love you. But that's okay. That's okay, because we're going to figure it out for ourselves. We're going to love ourselves. Yeah. It had to start that way. You know what I mean? Because that's where it was. And where it went was so great. You know? I mean, like, the healing process of it was really valuable to me in my life.
And then we head to Loser. You take me out with the D2 personality.
Thank you.
Give me qualities of someone that has, give me qualities of a guy that is D2 personality.
Oh, okay. Where do I start? I think a guy with a D2 personality, like, he walks ahead of you. Every single time you guys are walking together in public, he's like a couple steps ahead of you.
Oh, so I'm your security guard. Love it.
Literally, what are you talking about? Because like I remember being in a relationship and like I'm walking and I'm dreaming, and he's all the way up here, and I'm like, wait a second, why? Like, I don't understand that. I think it's a power move. I think they do it on purpose, for sure.
That is definitely number one red flag for that.
Yeah.
Holy-ish. That is like when someone's so into themselves, but they're also like kind of toxic and like battling with their own demons, but you're just like, mm-mm.
Yes. Right. Sorry. Yes.
And there's like a lot of that in LA.
Oh yeah, LA's terrifying. I mean, like, LA is like one of those places that I mean, I love it. I have a lot of love for it. But I think that if you get into a certain, lifestyle anywhere, you're going to end up meeting the wrong people. And LA, it's scary because, there's a lot out there. It's just a lot, I can only imagine, moving to a big city regardless would be terrifying for anyone.
Yeah. Pretty years hurt my soul. Pretty years hurt my soul because it's just that time you cannot get back. Like the elasticity in my skin.
Yeah.
Will not be like this.
I literally had that, and that was like my crisis during I was like, I'm literally not ever gonna be like, I'm never gonna be this young again. Why am I here? It's like the older I get, and I'm 23. Whatever.
You're ahead, like, for 23.
Thank
though.
you.
Like,
heads in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking. But yeah, like, Pretty Years was this, it was that big moment of like, yo, all of the, you can make light of your situation all you want. The reality of the reality of it is this person doesn't love you and they don't care about you, and yet you're giving them so much of yourself. And I think that the Pretty Years, it didn't come from necessarily a place of me like, oh, I'm so young and whatever. The reality of it is like, when I wrote Pretty Years, I had lost somebody really close to me. And I remember thinking, if I am in this if I, let's say I go the same way, I've wasted half my life on this person, and that's a really hard realization. It's something you don't always, not a lot of people get to realize so young. And so I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I want real good love in my life. I don't want this, and it took a lot, because I think that although you can love somebody, knowing when they don't love you and when it's time to walk away is really hard, but it's really necessary.
And doubling down on that, like, the Pretty Years, you're right. It's not like the physical, it's the youthful spirit as well. Like, that's also different. We can carry that forever, obviously, but like, that is the time that you can't get back. So I'm happy that you
it's any year that you're alive is beautiful. So
Forgot to Be My Lover. That one, oh my gosh. Because that one, you have that like oldies twang in that one, right? That's the one that has like that oldies twang. Being over someone who you gave your everything to, but they kind of bamboozled you. Now you see them doing that with someone else, and you're like, bro,
like, hello? What are you talking about? I literally taught you how to be you. I remember just thinking, like, there was this guy I dated, and it kind of inspired Forgot to Be My Lover a little bit. But it's funny because, like, I dated this guy, and I remember, like, I ended up, like, having a conversation with my cousin, and I was like, I literally know how this man is treating this girl that he is now dating because I taught him how to do it. It's like the idea of being so frustrated that like somebody changed for somebody else and you had to teach him how to do it. It's like, whatever.
That hurts our ego. That's really what it,
yeah. Like, that was really, yeah. It does kind of, I guess it boosts my ego and just bothers me. You know what I mean? That's it. It is an ego boost, though, I think.
It is also an ego boost.
In a way.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, well, at least they like heard me.
Yeah.
Not for me, but for someone else.
Not for me, though. It's more like my swag. Like, I put you on. Like, that's my swag.
I know. And you wrapped it up with, don't pick me up. Or don't pick up, right? Don't pick up. Oh my gosh. It's like, you know that you glue up and you know you deserve better. But like, why? It must be a habit. Like, why am I still...
Yeah. Don't Pick Up was the first time I was like really calling out my behavior. You know, it's like
Taking accountability.
I was taking accountability, and in a funny way, I guess. And it was more so like, if you see me trying to call you, please hang up. Don't pick up, please. Like, I really did, because I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to block this person and I'm going to never talk to them again. And you know how that goes. Sometimes it goes great. Sometimes it doesn't. And so, yeah, I was really like, if you see me trying to get back to you and missing you, just don't let me. You know, it's like I'm asking for one favor. And it's don't let me go back to you. Yeah.
Do these people that you write songs about, do they be hitting you up like, is that about me? Is this a play about me?
A little. I mean, like, I think people guess, and I'm like, they never guess correctly. Genuinely. I think there's a lot of, like, and again, songs, music, it's like you write it about relationships, but 90% of the time, it's really about me. This whole entire play is about me. It's not about you. Like, that's something that I've had to, like, kind of remember is, like, regardless of if I write a song about an experience, usually 90% of the time I'm writing songs that are inspired off of personal experiences, you know? But not always are they, exact. It's more so about, like, allowing me to process the emotions, allowing me to navigate whatever it is I'm going through, So when people think it's about them, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a girl. I just write songs and I'm just a girl. I don't know what to say. So.
And all that led to what we're celebrating now, something like this, your latest single. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling from when you were writing that EP to now that you're writing this and working on what I assume is a new project?
Mm-hmm. I feel a lot more aligned with who I am and what I'm doing. I think that Don't Hold Me Accountable was such a beautiful step towards, really exploring my truest identity. And obviously identity changes and it fluctuates over the course of your life. But right now I feel really crystal clear on, like, where I'm going. And also it has to, these things go hand in hand. It's like in my personal life and my artistic space. Like, it really does feel like, I've done a lot of healing and a lot of forgiving. And now I can really come at my art and my life and everything from a place of just true authenticity, rather than having any sort of, unfinished business or unfinished pain really block that. So.
Wow, you've grown a lot.
I feel really good, yeah. It's really amazing, and I think that this tour with Dua has been such a healing experience for me. I've been up on stage, and before we did this tour, I was doing my first headlines ever, my first ones in LA and New York, and it was really, really healing. And I think that music has been able to heal me in ways that I don't think anything else really has been able to do. Music is my love language. It's my language. It's how I communicate. And it's been really, really healing recently.
I mean, I was going to mention that there is someone in the room that's opened for Dua, opening for her, performing at Madison Square Garden for 4 nights.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm so thankful.
Where were you when you found out that you were going to open for her?
I was sitting on my couch and in my jammies, and my manager called me and was like, I have to tell you something, but I can't tell you yet. We have to wait for Sam. And Sam is my favorite person in the world. I love Sam. So they get on the phone and they're like, so you're opening for Dua? And I was like, my whole response was just like, what? Like, I couldn't stop saying, I was like, I'm so excited. I was like, but what are you talking about? It was really, really cool. I mean, to find out that you're doing something like that and somebody is amazing and beautiful and wonderful as Dua is, like, taking a real chance on you. Like, it's you want to do your best, So that was my first response.
Did you know there was a possibility that was going to happen?
I mean, you can manifest,
Like, did you have a heads up that, like, your name was in the pile for this?
Yeah, like, a little bit. I mean, it was really like it was like we had this desire to do it, but it we were kind of like, whatever happens. And then I got the news, and it was really, really exciting.
What is preparation for that like?
Lots of just self-care, lots of taking care of yourself, lots of, making sure your body is ready, your mind is ready, your soul is ready, your voice is ready. I think it was just a lot of self-care. And prep doesn't stop, I guess. It's like you just are constantly, you have to be on it the whole time.
What have you learned on this leg of the tour, like being able to work with someone right next to Dua?
I've learned so much more from Dua than I have, I think, in general. She just watching her perform.
Yeah.
That's really like what has taught me so much as an artist. Watching her, she's so sure of herself on stage. She's so, she really knows her art, and she knows her fans. And I think that when you have those two things, it was something that I didn't know, but like those two things are so important, knowing your art, knowing your fans, and knowing how that, mixes together. And she really shows up as the artist that, as everybody, sees her to be. She's incredible. And she really taught me that it takes a lot more than just getting up there and singing, So that's what I've learned so far. And it's been really valuable.
Have you been able to have like time with her? Like, have you been able to get some advice from her?
We met before the tour in Kosovo. I was lucky enough to be invited to do the Sunny Hill Festival with her and her family in Kosovo. So we got to meet there. We had a wonderful conversation. And, tour is so complicated. You have all these things going on and everybody's so busy. And so we are just, it feels good to like work side by side. But the tour's been really busy.
Who have you been able to meet that like you didn't know like knew your stuff or was a fan of yours, or just some people that you've had really fun interactions with?
I don't know. I don't. Teddy Swims. Teddy's been so awesome and just such a great support of mine. And I've we met really early on in my career, and he was just so sweet and so kind. He's literally, genuinely one of the nicest people that I've ever met. Like, he's so kind. Stevie Nicks was a huge shocker, I think, when that happened. That was huge.
What was that like?
It was incredible. It was like I wasn't expecting it at all. That was one that I had no idea, that was even a possibility. And I was in Joshua Tree and I got a call basically saying like, Stevie wants you to open for her on her tour. And I was just like, okay, like, this is insane. And I've looked up to Stevie my whole life. She was the artist for me, she was the artist. And so being able to go on tour with her was amazing. And I'll always be forever grateful for that. So that one was amazing.
And so you're working on a project now?
I am, yeah. Like I'm always working on music. I always say like it never stops. You're always in art mode. But I'm working on a project currently. I just want to see where it takes me, and it's very beginning right now. But my biggest focus right now is just tour and allowing inspiration to come to me.
Well, because I know that you've had a lot of inspiration here in New York. You like lived here for a month.
Yeah, I was here for like a month. I made music for a while here. I was staying in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I was working and making music in Brooklyn.
What did you learn about like living in New York? Cause
that I love to walk everywhere, but I have so much anxiety being around so many people. I was like, oh my gosh. But it taught me how to like walk with a purpose. I was like, I'm here and I'm walking with a purpose. Also, New York has the best self-care, spa, facials. It's the best.
And like your first time clubbing was here?
My first time at a club was here. I went to this club. It was like Halloween. I had so much fun. I lived a beautiful life. Beautiful Carrie Bradshaw moment. It was great.
You had like a kiss on the cheek with who?
I I had a kiss with this. I don't
What was
know.
their dress up? What costume were they in?
They weren't in one. Soccer jersey, gorgeous.
Not Ronaldo.
I mean, could have been. You never know. No, I'm joking. No, it was just beautiful. I loved it. It was a wonderful experience, and I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. That was really like, I was like, I'm young right now.
Yeah.
And I'm having so much fun.
Tonight we are young.
Yes.
We're gonna set the night on fire.
Yeah, and it's cool. New York always brings this thing out of me. I don't know what it is. I'm just ready to experience my life. I feel so invigorated in the life when I'm here. So.
Who is like your number one that you haven't met yet, but you'd love to have a convo with?
Ariana Grande.
Oh yeah.
I love her so much.
Are you a Wicked girly or?
I wasn't a Wicked girly and then became a Wicked girly.
Me.
Literally, I never really got into musicals. Although there is this one song from Phantom of the Opera that I'm obsessed with singing. That's the only musical that I really like. Yeah. Anyway, but Ariana Grande, yeah. I've always been such a fan of her.
Dude, did you try to get those tickets online? It was.
I was like, oh, you're joking.
I know.
Like, stop it. But she's just always been such a huge inspiration to me, and I just like, I love her so much.
Have you seen her perform?
No. I've literally never seen her perform. I never really went to concerts ever in my life. Like, growing up, like, I went to maybe like 4, and I went to punk concerts, like punk rock concerts, and that was like it. So I never really got that opportunity to experience concerts until I was, out in LA, and also until I was really playing. That was
Well, now you're like on tour with Dua, which is insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so thankful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What about your fans? I mean, what do you have to say to them? Anyone that's even since high school time seen you on a stage somewhere?
I mean, I would say just thank you. I'm so thankful for just anybody and everybody that's, supported me and encouraged me. And, I think that the best thing that we do as human beings is we love, it really is the best thing that we do. And when you're able to give love and you receive love in that way, through support and everything like that, it really, like, it's something that is so precious and should be protected. I think that art is like our biggest asset as human beings, because we are able to digest what goes on around us through something that speaks deeper than just our bodies, and it speaks to our souls. And so I think that it's so valuable, and there's not enough thanks in the world to the people that have given me the opportunity to do it. I don't have enough thanks.
I mean, it's such a big moment that you're living in right now, but we all know that it's just going to keep going more and more and more. Right now, how does it feel to be CIL right now?
It feels like it's beautiful. I'm really thankful, for everything that's going on in my life. And obviously, I'm young, and so I don't have it all figured out. And I know that there's a lot of lessons that I've learned and have yet to learn that are coming. And yeah, I mean, it feels good overall, but we'll see. I'm always kind of on the like, what's gonna happen? I'm like, I don't know. I'm always kind of on edge a little, but given my track record, but right now is a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time in my life.
Girl, that's normal. When you're like your 20s, like if you feel angsty, you're right on
like,
brand.
The
like,
ball's
you're
gonna
fine.
drop.
No,
I don't know where it is.
Okay. And that is good.
No, it's totally fine.
It's a good place.
I genuinely, though, like, I feel like something in my brain is developing. It really is. I'm serious. I'm like, I'm becoming a real girl. Like, woman. Because I'm like starting to find like men who like don't respect me as like really unattractive. That happened, and I was like, I'm definitely an adult now.
That's when we flip over to womanhood, like true womanhood, when we don't allow the disrespect and we can peep it.
Yes. I wrote a song called Womanhood when I was like 19.
Pop it out, bring it out on the deluxe.
Maybe I will.
On
Maybe,
the EP deluxe.
maybe it is on the EP deluxe.
The vinyl
We'll see.
version only.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good idea.
Womanhood?
Yeah, Womanhood deluxe vinyl version only.
Wait, but like, okay, you wrote that at 19, but now what do you think about that?
I was really speaking in that song. I mean, like, low key, I relate to it more now than I did then. I was like writing it from this like this different perspective, but now I'm like, no, like actually, yeah.
Listen to her.
Listen to her. I think that we always know. It just our souls know, like our consciousness knows, like deep down. And then as we get older, it comes out, and you're like, oh, right, you know.
And I think the most important thing that you said is that like the biggest contribution we can have as humans is to love and to give love. That was really sweet.
I mean, it's true. I think that was, it's my reason, you know, it's my why.
Yeah.
That's my why. I think that like you should always figure out your why within your purpose and within what you want to do. I think my why is just love is so important, and we have to continue to share ourselves with each other, because if we don't, it's going to become real impersonal in this world, and that's
real AI real quick.
And that's scary.
And I mean, that's why the fans are showing up. That's why they're so excited to see you open for Dua Lipa. They're so excited that they got to see you for your headlining tour.
Yeah.
They're so excited and on the edge of their seats to see what you have coming out. We want to say thank you so much for
Thank
spending
you.
time with us. We know
Thank
you're
you for
a busy
having me.
girl.
No, I really appreciate it.
But I loved this chat with you. I loved getting to know you. And I loved hearing your music. I actually hadn't heard it before. And so hearing it and hearing your soul in it was really sweet.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
And we are so excited to just keep following along
we go.
the journey, girl. More tooth gems.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All love, Sil.